When buying a new sofa, it can be very tempting to choose the biggest piece of furniture you can find. As a place where we spend the majority of our evenings, not only will a generous sofa give you plenty of room to spread out and relax, it will also create a fantastic statement piece in your living room. This can help to really make the space feel like your own and give you the interior you've always dreamed of. But you may encounter a few problems with getting a large sofa into your living room. Narrow doorways, steep stairs, and winding halls often make maneuvering big pieces of furniture a challenge. In some cases, it can be all but impossible to get the sofa up the stairs, through the door, along the hall, and into position, which will only end in disappointment and extra hassle. To help ensure that you're able to get your new sofa into its proper place, we're taking a look at how to measure your sofa and how to choose a sofa that's guaranteed to fit. Plus, we've got some extra tips from the experts about the best types of sofas to choose for smaller spaces and how to get rid of an old sofa. Before I let you know the secret of getting sofas around the tight corners, I want you to subscribe to our channel as we share similar DIY tricks and tips. So let's get started with our video. We'll start by measuring your sofa. So, are you ready? Well, you can have a look at the dimensions of the sofa so you're confident about the width, height, and the depth. Once you're pretty sure about the dimension, here's how you can get it through the front door. So the thing is that you start by opening your front door as wide as possible. If there are no obstructions and you can open your door fully, measure the width of the door frame. Let's take this dimension as A for future reference. If there is an obstruction behind your door, open your door as wide as possible, then measure the narrowest point from the outer edge of the door to the inner edge of the door frame and take this dimension as B. Now for the measurements you've taken, say A or B, and you're sure that it's greater than your sofa's height, it's a guarantee that your new sofa will fit through your front door. If the width of your front door is too narrow, the other option would be to carry the sofa through upright. But for that, you will need to measure the height of your door and ensure that this measurement is greater than the width of the sofa. If it is, you may well be able to fit the sofa through the door upright, provided that there is sufficient wiggle room, or your sofa is able to arch round the door frame. So, you also might want to figure out about getting your sofa through the hallway and internal doors. Once through the front door, you will need to make sure that the sofa can be safely navigated through hallways and internal doors. To do this, follow the route that your sofa will take to the room in which it will feature. Measure the width of any areas the sofa will pass through, noting down their narrowest points. Remember to take note of any obstructions along the way too, including light fittings, radiators, and shelving. For this to work, the widths at their narrowest points must be greater than the height of your sofa. If your sofa needs to be carried upstairs, measure the width of the staircase at its narrowest point, making sure you take any handrails or light fixtures into consideration. If this measurement is greater than the height of your sofa, you should be able to fit your sofa up the flight of stairs. If there is a landing, measure the depth, width, and height as well. Provided that the measurements you get here are greater than the width, depth, and height of your sofa, it should be possible to navigate the landing. If there is a banister that the sofa needs lifting over, you will need to check that the distance between the banister and the ceiling is greater than the depth of the sofa. Remember again to take into consideration any ceiling lights that may be an obstruction. So at this stage, you also need to see about getting your sofa into and out of a lift. If the sofa needs to make its way upstairs in a lift, you will need to measure the open door height, width, and depth of the lift to make sure we can fit your sofa inside. It may also be worth noting the diagonal height of the lift from the bottom front to the top back, as the sofa may fit in at an angle. If the dimensions you recorded are greater than the width, height, and depth of your sofa, we should be able to use the lift to transport your sofa. Now at this stage, we're going to look at some tips and tricks that might help you place the sofa at the best spot possible. How to get a sofa through a door. If your sofa arrives fully formed, the first challenge you'll face is getting the sofa through the door. In most cases, you'll have to move the sofa through the doorway horizontally. If you try getting it through the door vertically, you risk basking the end on your door frame and damaging either the sofa, your home, or both. Try not to panic, however, as there are several things you can try to get the sofa through. If possible, try to rope in a few strong friends to help with the heavy lifting, as you may need to turn the sofa on its side to get it through the door. The more helping hands you have, the better. We'd recommend, firstly, removing all the cushions and other extraneous items from the sofa. This will help not only with the weight, but may make it slightly smaller too. If you can, we'd also suggest removing the legs, as this is one of the biggest problems people have when getting a sofa through a door without damaging the frame. Clear any furniture that may be blocking the door, such as coat racks, shoe rails, pictures, mirrors, side tables, and even door stops, so you make use of all the space without bashing into anything. If you still can't get the sofa through, it may be time to remove the door itself. Interior doors are often lightweight and easy to remove. Simply tap out the hinge pins, then shift the door sideways to take it off the hinges. This will instantly free up some extra inches that may be just enough to fit the sofa through. If need be, you can also remove the hinges too, which will free another ½ an inch of width. If these methods still fail, try to move the sofa inside at a diagonal angle. Once the sofa is tilted at a 45-degree angle, the first mover should be able to maneuver it around the door and its handles. Make sure you communicate well with each other and continuously tilt and twist the sofa, using small movements until it's inside. This often requires a lot of strength and patience, since a lot of back and forth is needed. Occasionally, sofa delivery companies will also offer their assembly services, although usually at an extra charge, so if you feel it'll be too difficult for you to move the sofa inside yourself, you can always hire some help. This way, you can sit back and watch as they do all the work for you.